Hello, this is West Virginia Tim. I'm at BGG. Key is not the key. BGG stands for Berkeley Gadget's Geotour. And this fact absolutely amazes me. But the Berkeley Gadget's Geotour is now the most favorited geotour in the entire world, which is absolutely amazing to me. We're about 2 hours from Washington, D.C. And this cache, believe it or not, is right near the interstate. You can hear it. We're only feet away from the interstate. This is at the the West Virginia northbound Welcome Center, just across the state line from Virginia into West Virginia. It's near Martinsburg, West Virginia. This cache is named after the infamous "The Key is the Key" that I retired after 760 favorite votes. This cache is a traditional birdhouse chained to a 4x4 post placed with written permission of the landowner. The box is actually reused. It used to be GBC6 Gadgets supplied. So as always, let me play my role as a finder, and after we find it, I'll take you into my shop and I'll show you how to build it. So let's first take a peek at the left side. There's a bunch of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, a hole, couple screws that move. There's a couple numbers that are red. As I look at the front, there is a drawer. So of course you're gonna pull out the drawer, and then what do you see? A whole bunch of keys in the drawer. And different than most West Virginia Tim caches, right off the bat, you see a master lock that requires a key. So we are not going to have to solve for a combination because clearly the log sheet is going to be up here. This chain up here has nothing to do with the log. It's actually just chained to the tree. Underneath, as usual, I label it as a geocache and put my telephone number on it. So now, to solve this, we're going to need to find a key. So let me set this phone down and me grab these keys, and I'm probably going to fast forward, and I'm going to go through here, and we're probably going to be able to find the key to this lock right here in this drawer. By now, most cachers who found my caches know there's always a red herring. So they probably are saying to themselves, I didn't think one of those keys were going to work, but you had to try it. You just have to try because there's several keys that fit, and you just think this has got to be the solution. And we've all seen caches like this, but this is not the solution. This key doesn't work. Now, the bottom is solid. Only thing there is a label. This left side only has numbers. There's no key. There's nothing on the front. The right side, there's nothing. I'm reaching along the back. There's nothing on the back. I'm looking at the pole to see if I see anything hidden on the pole. I don't see anything. Cachers now are stumped. I get a lot of telephone calls on this one because now they're thinking, where in the world, how do I get this key? Where can I find this key to open this master lock? So I look up here at the top, this chain is going through the post, but it's almost like a hint. If you look real careful, this master lock up here isn't hooked to the chain. So why in the world did the cache builder place a lock up here that's not connected to the chain? And you don't notice that until you get stumped and you really start looking for other clues. So you're thinking, well, this up here maybe has something to do with it. So you start pilling around up here, and all of a sudden, I pull on this end of the chain, and you'll be able to see it better in the video later. I pull on this chain, it comes out of the hole, and there's a magnet in there. So now this chain comes out. So now I've got the chain out, but it's still attached here and it won't come out here. So I'm still stuck. So what do I do here? So now I'm looking at this thing. Oh, but look here. If I start turning this, look what comes out. There's a key. There's a bolt, 1/2-inch bolt. This is connected through here, and you pull this out, and there's the key. Let's see if this key works. We know it's going to, right? We put it in there, we open it, the lock opens, we lift it up, we reach in, we just found a lock and lock. We've just solved this cache. Okay, it's all back together now. You can see this side's chained in. You can see how hard that is to see there. And then over here, you can see the chain goes in, but you got to give it a pretty firm tug. And there's the chain inside there. Okay, now we've solved this. Let's go into the shop and let me show you exactly how to build this. Now, the one thing I'm not going to do this time inside the shop is I'm going to show you how to build this box, because I've already done that on numerous other videos. So let's go in the shop and let me show you how to build this thing.
This is a 1/2-inch eye bolt. I took my angle cutter with a thin blade, and I just used it to cut a slot right in my angle bolt. Here's my small master lock. Here's the key. Of course, this key is too wide, so I took my angle cutter and just cut 2 lines down through here and narrowed my key, and I think I took it off here. Then I used JB Weld, which is a cold weld formula for steel, and my key just set down in there very easily. So I covered it with JB Weld and then just put it down in there and propped it up and set it overnight, and it dried. And it dries as hard as a rock. Then, of course, when you finish, make sure you clean your, before your JB Weld dries, make sure you clean it so that your threads are clean, and it will screw into your cache. And of course, you can use this concept and JB Weld to hide keys in lots and lots of places. Here's the front of my 4x4 post. This is where my key will go. I put a little line across here that equals the top of this to come across to make sure that where I attach my chain is not going to hit where my key is going to be. So my chain is about 3/4 of an inch. So I've drilled a 3/4 inch wide hole using this bit, and I went down 1.5 inches deep. And then I have a very, very strong magnet that I will drop in the bottom, and then I will glue it using an epoxy sealer into the bottom. And then, of course, this is where my chain will attach. Here's the right side. Now, I did have to have a way to secure this chain in here, so I put the chain in and then just put an eye bolt in here to secure the chain so this side can't come out, and so that it wouldn't move. I put a bolt here, and it goes through this way. Here it is done. Notice that there's a lock here, but if you look really close, lock doesn't go around the chain. But the left side, this is the side that has the magnet, and I flattened it a little bit, but you can see how closely it goes in.
This cache has only been out less than a year, and it's already stumped a bunch of cachers. And what always seems like the evident solution isn't. And I love red herrings, and this one's no different. You think as you come to it that it's just a typical old find the key, unlock the lock, but it's really different. And that really is what makes for a fun cache. So I want you to copy this idea, make it your own. In fact, a friend of mine in the Netherlands, Adric, actually shared this concept with me. And him and I both are all about just sharing ideas and improving our game one cache at a time. Hey, thanks for watching.